Welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to take what sounds like totally dry shipping logistics and transform it into a massive, high-stakes race against the clock out on the sun-drenched high seas. We're talking about the intense, hidden rules that literally govern the global energy supply. So picture it, bright blue skies, massive gleaming steel tankers, and literally millions of dollars on the line. Let's get right into it.
Just imagine a colossal, gleaming oil tanker pulling into port. From the exact moment that ship is ready to go, the crew has exactly 72 hours to pull off their mission. That's 72 hours total to both load and discharge millions of gallons of liquid cargo. It's a strict, totally unrelenting window, and every single minute of it is tied to vast, vast sums of money. Section 1. The 72-hour mission. Laytime allowed. Let's dive right in and look at the intense rules governing this countdown. Time absolutely never stops in ocean trade. The standard industry term here is SHINC. That stands for Sundays, holidays included. Basically, the clock ticks relentlessly. You get a continuous, clear 72 hours or 3-day window. There are no weekends off, no pausing for a national holiday. The operation just has to keep moving. Now, what if the ship's mission requires a stop at a second loading or discharging port? You might think, oh, they'll get way more time. Well, actually, no. They are granted a mere 12 extra hours to get the job done. That's it, just half a single day added to the clock to handle completely new port logistics. This highlights a pretty ruthless reality of the tanker game, especially when you compare it to something like dry bulk shipping. See, in dry bulk, if you finish early, you actually get paid for the time you saved. It's a bonus called dispatch money. But for oil tankers, traditionally, there is zero dispatch money. There's absolutely no financial bonus waiting for you just for beating the clock. You just have to meet the deadline. Section 2. Starting the ticking clock. Commencement. The crucial detail here is figuring out exactly when this unforgiving countdown is triggered. So the timer starts in one of two very specific ways. Picture the vessel arriving at port limits. If the tanker is stuck waiting at anchorage, the captain tenders a notice of readiness, or NOR. In that case, the clock starts exactly 6 hours after the notice is given. But if the tanker skips the line and goes straight to the bustling jetty, the timer commences the absolute instant the ship is fully tied up. The industry dramatically calls this being all fast. Section 3. Navigating unforeseen delays. Interruptions. Because like any massive mission, things are gonna go wrong. When obstacles inevitably pop up, who is responsible completely dictates whether the clock keeps ticking or pauses. Delays basically fall into three camps. First, logistical hiccups caused by the charterer. Second, mechanical or administrative failures on the ship owner's end. And third, totally uncontrollable events, acts of God that just affect everybody. For the charterer, the stakes are wild here. If they cause a delay, say the berth just isn't ready, they're waiting for cargo, or they don't have space in the terminal tanks, that time eats directly into our precious 72-hour allowance. The clock literally does not stop. But conversely, ship owners are strictly accountable for their own gear. If the ship's massive pumps break down, if machinery fails, or if they're missing a mandatory certificate, that is entirely on the owner. During those specific delays, the laytime clock is mercifully paused. Then there's the third category: severe weather, heavy fog, a massive labor strike at the terminal. It's totally beyond anyone's control. The industry actually refers to this as a sharing of miseries, which is such a great phrase. It leads to complex clauses where the delay time is essentially split or shared between the owner and the charterer. Section 4. The pressure of pumping. Excess pumping time. This is really the physical climax of the whole operation. We're talking about forcing millions of gallons of crude oil through steel pipes. The contracts demand sheer speed and physical power. Owners literally have to guarantee that their vessel can physically discharge the entire cargo within 24 hours, or maintain a crushing 100 pounds per square inch of pressure at the ship's rail, provided the shore facilities permit it. That 100 psi number is absolutely critical. Because if offloading takes more than 24 hours, the owner gets financially penalized for taking too long. Their only defense? They have to prove without a doubt that they maintained that intense 100 pounds per square inch of pressure the whole time. Or they need a formal letter proving the shore facilities just couldn't handle oil at those extreme rates. Oh, and to add another layer of complexity, think about modern environmental standards. For massive crude oil tankers over 20,000 deadweight tonnage, we're talking ships the size of floating skyscrapers.
There's a mandatory pollution control requirement called crude oil washing, or COW. It's totally vital for the environment, but it can eat up even more of our critical countdown, which means you need special clauses to figure out who pays for that extra time.
Section 5, the final tally, calculations. Let's see how all of this builds to the ultimate calculation of success or failure.
Now, because tanker laytime is on those shank terms we talked about, running right through Sundays and holidays, the final math is actually a pretty straight shot. You just record the continuous time from the exact moment laytime commenced, look at the total time used, and simply slice out the excused interruptions, like those owner-caused pump breakdowns.
But keep this one really crucial physical detail in mind. The mission isn't over just because the oil stops flowing. The clock runs continuously until the massive cargo hoses are physically, completely disconnected from the ship. Only then does the timer finally stop.
So with millions of dollars riding on a single 72-hour window, the roar of massive pumps and 100 psi of pressure, it leaves us wondering, how do these high-stakes, hidden rules shape the price and continuous flow of the global energy supply chain? It really is this incredible, invisible architecture driving the energy that powers our world every single day. Thanks so much for tuning into this explainer. I hope you walk away with a whole new appreciation for this high seas race against the clock.